way of things. Damn.
First and foremost, free the whole world, boss. I am your gracious host, Caspian Montgomery. Welcome, Gaza Nation, to another episode of the Vybz Kartel Show. Today, we will be breaking down the brand new song, Run Dancehall, by the King of Dancehall. And this song is full of alien brain lyrics, so Gaza Nation, please forgive me in advance if I do make some mistakes. So, without further ado, teacher, please begin.
Me nah have no time to drill. Me nah love from steel. Coulda even we a go have oxtail. Every female want me contact at meal. That coming now your gal what the cash pad clear.
Addi, the innocent, begins the first verse by letting us know that he has no time to trace. Trace is being in other people's businesses, following them up, instead of living your own life, you are just always watching what this next person does. And then he says he doesn't lop frocktail, and that is an old Jamaican saying. Women used to wear, who had wide dresses, they would sit down and they would gossip just like women do, and they would fold their dresses. So if a man is told to be doing that, then that man is effeminate and a gossiper. But the King of Dancehall, he doesn't have time to trace people, and he's not into the gossip. And then he says, even if on his judgment day he was sent to hell, he would still be dining on oxtail and living in the lap of luxury, no matter where he is, because he is the Pharaoh. And then he says, every female wants his contact. And then he has a double entendre right here. He says Hotmail. Hotmail is the email service. And then he's playing with words, and he says all these women want to talk to Addi, so he must be a hot male. Women find him attractive. And then he says .com and into your girl, and that's the cash pot play. And I looked up cash pot. It is a lottery game in Jamaica, and he's again playing with words. .com is the hotmail.com, but he's saying he's going to ejaculate inside of your girlfriend, and then it's like winning the lottery for her, because now she has one of the king's pickney, and her entire lifestyle is going to change. These lyrics are in overdrive.
I got rice, let me tell the boy weed. Man's killer than a killer when me mouth bomb beer. Bet your money, put your house by steal. With your wife, all your pick me just can't feel.
Our great Gaza leader then says he bigs up Hotter Rice, which is a selector in Jamaica, or as we call it, a DJ. So big up Hotter Rice, and he says, let me tell you about us, let me tell you about Gaza. And then he says, he is skiller than a killer when he's out on bail. And that line is wonderful. Just think of it. A killer who gets out on bail, you must have some skills in order to do that. And then he says he cannot lose. And then he says you can actually bet money on Vybz Kartel that he will not lose. He will remain the King of Dancehall. And he says he is so confident that you could put your house up for sale, you could put your home up for sale, you could bet your wife and all of your children that. And he says he will not fail you. So Gaza Nation, we put all of our faith into the boss, and he has never failed us yet. He remains on the top of the mountain, he remains in the throne, and he's working harder than any other dancehall artist, even the ones that are on the road currently. So that line is very powerful.
Then could it be me adapt to a 3D? They could beat me, I greet me, like me, I keep treat. Big woman say them need the deal, the sweet. Young girl like a cup for teach, I could beat me.
Mr. Palmer then says that the other artists, the other dancehall artists could never be him. They are just a dot to 3D, and 3D objects, things you can see, that actually look real. They don't look like a cartoon in 2 dimensions. They have 3 dimensions. They are made up from a bunch of dots. So they all are just tiny fractions that make up the 3D picture, which is the king of dancehall. And then he says, little children, they greet the king of dancehall like he keeps treats on him at all times. So like a nice old man or old woman that would give their grandchildren treats. That is how the kids greet the king of dancehall, even if he doesn't have anything to give them. And then he says, big woman. So the older women, even some grannies, I bet, would like to sleep with Kartel. They said they need the teely, so they need his penis, the sweet. So they want his penis, the adults, the older women, and then the young girls, so the girls in their 20s, they cock up for the teacher for beat meat. So the young girls are putting their bumpers up in the air and asking the teacher to smash out their vaginas.
Pussy run like tracks like Diego, radio stadium, the alien here, no stay, no where you real, no. The status famous, virus, catty ratos, the dangerous cable, stay, no play, no deal.
The boss of all bosses then says that vaginas from the other side, the opposition, they run like tracks, and then he says, Jago, I'm sorry if I'm mispronunciating it, but St. Jago High School is in Spanish Town. Big up Spanish Town. So he is saying they run just like a track meet when St. Jago meets up and goes against another high school. And then he says, the alien is here. And remember, aliens are from other planets out in the universe. He says, the alien is here. So no stay nowhere. And then he says Uranus. So he says the competition, they're all just like an anus, but he is making another play on words because Uranus is a planet and he is an alien. And then he says his status is famous, and we all know how famous World Boss truly is, not just in Jamaica but worldwide. And then he says various Cathys rate us. So he's saying various women around the world, they rate the Gaza because the Gaza keeps it real. Every woman wants a Gaza thug to lay down with. And then he says that he is dangerous. He does have an AK-47 and he is not afraid to shoot the AK. And then he says, Spain, they do not play. And Spain is Spanish Town. And Spanish Town, there are a lot of real bad men that come from Spanish Town. Again, big up yourself, Spanish Town. And with that last line, we have reached the glorious chorus.
Yo, the world boss can't stall you. Addi the king and him a run dance hall. Addi the king and him a run dance hall. Addi the king and him a run dance hall. The world boss can't stall you. Addi the king and him a run dance hall. Addi the king and him a run dance hall. Addi the king and him a run.
This chorus is simple, straightforward, but very truthful. I would also like to big up Lisa Mercedes. Her voice, she seemed like she was very angry when she was recording this. Not angry, but very passionate about what she was saying. She just lets us know that Addi is the king of dancehall, and he's not stopping anytime soon. He's going to continue to run the place. No one can stop him, no matter how hard they try. She is going to let us know, and is there ever another artist on earth that puts out as much wonderful music as Addi? I will give you the answer. The answer is no.
Have no time for years. Up to the time, same way. Me, I run the universe, the world of mine, same way. Big up every DJ. 90% that will know what my DNA talk truth.
The dancehall hero begins the second verse by letting us know that he has no time to waste. And believe me, Addi doesn't like to waste time. He is constantly working, and the only time I think he ever takes breaks is to make some more pickney. And then he says he is up to the time, same way. That is a reference to his classic album, Up to the Time. He's still up to the time. He's still creating legendary music. And then he says that he runs the universe. He runs, the world is his, just like Tony Montana. The world is world bosses. He runs the universe. He is the GOAT, the greatest musician of all time. And then he says, big up every DJ. And this is the line that has gone viral. He says, big up to every DJ. So big up to all the other artists, all the other dancehall artists. And then he says 90% of them are his DNA. And the king was just being modest there. It is more like 99% of all dancehall artists have Vybz Kartel's DNA. They are following his lead. It is just a powerful statement, and it is powerful because it is true. And he agrees with me because he says talk truth. So that line must have ruffled some feathers in the dancehall community, but it is true. Everyone, including myself, when I record music, we get our style from Vybz Kartel.
He come from a sperm and a egg, but a bad mind boy is a slime same way. God panic, I'm already crime tape play. Fucking need that you do it in the USA.
One Dawn then says that we all of humanity comes from a sperm and an egg meeting up in a harmonious fashion. That is how humans are created. But a bad mind boy is a slime, same way. So he's saying we are all human, but a bad mind person is just still just a slime, the worst person on earth. He is a bad mind person is just someone who always wishes for your downfall. Do you understand that? And then he says, caught on the camera, the crime tape, it played. And then he says, you are a expletive idiot. You did it in the USA, you did it in the United States of America, and you got caught on tape. And I am not going to speculate on who he is speaking about, but there is a lot of people wondering who that line is directed to, and I do not lop Frocktail, so I'm not going to comment on that line.
Grandbagger recharge up my mad brains, and I only pan the Gaza with a bag of bad slave. No remorse like the man where rock grave, man grave. Why you wanna see your brother down, rock grave?
The teacher then says that he is going to buy a grand bag of weed, so a nice big bag of weed, and that is going to charge up his mad brains. That is how he charges up the alien brain to write these lyrics that are out of this world. And then he says, and then he's going to go to the Gaza, to Waterford, Block 5, and smoke some weed with a bag of, so a lot of bad slaves. Bad slaves are people who do not ascribe to working for the man, modern day slavery. So he's going to hold it on the Gaza and smoke with the rest of the bad slaves. And then he says he has no remorse like men who rob graves. He is the man's brave. So grave robbers, they have no conscience, so he's just like them. He is a very brave man. He's not afraid of anything. And then he says, why do you want to see your brother down, rat race? And that is a very powerful line. He is addressing all the haters, all of the jealous people that do not want to see the king of dancehall continuing to reign. They do not like that. So he's talking to them, and he says, the rat race, those people that are constantly stuck in the rat race, they will never make it out. They're chasing their own tail. They are just stuck in perpetual just frozen state. They are not moving forward. They are trapped in the rat race. Why do you want to bring your own brother down? These are very, very powerful lyrics.
Addi, I no Rolex, me no watch face. If your heart clean, me will help you. Me got grace, but me got bad ways as well. I still clap, make boy head back swell.
The world great, the dancehall king, then says that Addi is not a Rolex. He doesn't watch face. just think of that line. Rolex, the watch face. He doesn't watch face. He is not a Rolex. He is not, again, involved with any of the effery. He is not involved in any of the gossip. And then he says, if your heart is clean, he will help you. He does have grace. So just like he has helped my channel get to where it is, he helps out so many people in Jamaica, so many people around the world. As long as you have a clean heart, and he recognizes that, Addi will help you. But he also is bad, so that is the duality of life. You can be a bad man and a great man at the same time. It is possible. So he said he does have some bad ways as well. And then he says the Haskell will clap. That is the high point. I believe it's a 45 ACP, the high point. He says he will clap the Haskell and make a boy's head back swell. So he will run right up and put the high point behind you and blow out your brains. But he is also a wonderful man. So you must meditate on that line. And with that last line, we've reached the end of another Vybz Kartel masterpiece. As always, thank you, Gaza Nation, for tuning in. Please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you do not miss an episode. I'm very grateful for all the support that Gaza Nation has been showing me. I will not take up any more of your time. So until we meet again, it is Gaza, me say, forever.
The world boss can't stall you. Addi are the king and him a run dancehall. Addi are the king and him a run dancehall. Addi are the king and him a run dancehall.